Welcome back to Homeschool Podcast. I'm Augustino Zoida. I'm your host. It's great to have you guys with us. I really appreciate you tuning in. We know you got a lot of options for podcasts, so hey, we really appreciate it. It's the holidays, and it's the time to be thankful, right, guys? Or is that Thanksgiving? I mean, whatever. I'm super excited for our guest today. My co-host Kevin Lyons is not here, but that's okay because we have two special guests today. Some dear friends of mine who I haven't seen in forever. Ryan Hansinger is here, and Ashley Adaire. Did I get it right?
Adaire.
Oh, sorry, Adaire. Okay.
No, you're good.
Didn't you change your stage name because people were fucking it up?
Yep.
And then you went back to your real name, and I fucked it up. Which, by the way, people are going to be like, they're not dear friends of yours. He fucked her name up. Listen, guys.
He doesn't even know her name.
My whole life, I thought her name was Ashley Crabe. Okay, so... So that I'll nail, but it's great to have you guys back, literally in Los Angeles,
back.
and you guys have never done my podcast, have you?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Because you moved away.
Yeah,
but now everything's virtual, so
we've been listening, man.
Have you really?
I appreciate
I
it,
you guys.
recently, so that was great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Really quick, I would just like everybody to do me a big favor and please download my comedy album. It's available worldwide. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. If you like listening to stand-up comedy, on Pandora, if that's how you listen to stand-up, please use my channel, Augustino Zoida, and you'll hear me every now and then on there. And also, I get paid when you listen to other people's stuff. So how great is that? And if you do download my album, please give it a 5-star review. You can find it everywhere. It's called The Bad Guy. If you can't find it for some reason, you can find it on my website, homeschooledpod.com. And that's also where you'll find the merch for the podcast. That's the best way to support the podcast is by getting a t-shirt or something. So go to homeschooledpod.com, click on merch, and check out our t-shirts. We have a couple really cool t-shirts, as well as masks and like neck gaiters and stuff. I even have baby onesies. We're not messing around, you guys. So that's it. Just please support and help out. It's so good to see you guys, and I only see you from like sketches on Instagram for the last couple of years.
I love that you have a baby merch.
I do.
You got to get them young, man. You got to.
I literally have dog hoodies as well, but we actually sold out. So
I believe it.
Dog hoodies sold out.
Do you have coffee mugs?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
I love that there's a dog running around with a homeschooled on its back.
Totally.
Like, my dog got trained at a professional dog training, and you're like, mine's homeschooled.
My dog has one, and
awesome.
We have matching hoodies, and
that's cute.
That's adorable.
And we go for walks, and it's kind of cold here, and people will be like, you in LA are complaining about cold, but I think it's cold right now.
It's cold, man.
Yeah.
For LA, and in the early mornings when I take my dogs on walks, he's freezing, and he loves that I throw that hoodie on him, and we go walking together, and I think people think that we planned the outfit, but it's like I just threw it on.
But you kind of did. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, totally.
It is cold though, man. Those early mornings, 11, 12, like it's cold.
What a typical comic.
Yeah, but,
how come you guys moved back? What happened there?
Well, we were going to move back after the first year. We just, we decided we really love LA. We really missed it. And Atlanta was great. Everyone we met there was awesome. It just wasn't, the city for us. But then we got some really big auditions after the first year, so we decided to stay. And then we stayed another year, and then everything just dropped off, so we were just in Atlanta not auditioning, being like, damn, we should have moved back.
So it's a pretty cool city. It's just like it's not necessarily where you would want to like live forever for you guys.
Yeah, it was a little more like actual cityscape, kind of like New York, I guess, than I thought it was going to be. Which, I mean, you could move 20 minutes away, and it's not the case, but I don't know. We like California.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different stuff here that you can't get there. And it's like, again, super cool city. It's really cool. But I do feel, especially for like comedy and stuff, like comedy is so much bigger here. There's so much more upside to it. Yeah. I mean, there's more clubs. There's more stuff going on. There's more people going to shows who can pick you up into like that next tier of things. There's producers and stuff in the audience. There's agents and managers, and there's some of that out there, but not to the degree.
So you go out there like if you want to be an actor, like that's kind of where everything moved to is Atlanta for filming, right?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Like, there's a lot of co-stars and co-star roles that shoot there, even some guest star roles.
Mm-hmm. And that's
but
still
yeah,
the case.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, and then there's tons of TV, and in terms of the comedy stuff, like there is a cool comedy scene, and one of the things that like was appealing to me is getting out of LA to try to work material in a different area and just outside of the bubble of LA,
Yeah.
And so there's definitely a cool opportunity to develop stuff out there. But what was funny is like I'm out here, out in Atlanta doing some shows at some of the clubs and stuff and trying to work my way up. And meanwhile, all my friends from out here are on the billboards for doing the weekend spots. And I'm like, and of course they're bringing their own features and stuff. And so like, it was a little like tough to sit there and like working my way up from the very bottom at some of these clubs who, and, trying to prove yourself or whatever, which, takes years sometimes to work your way up through a club.
When you guys first moved out there, were you just kind of like, maybe we made the wrong choice, but let's feel it out a little bit?
Yeah, I think almost immediately because we never visited or anything. Like, I think you had been to Atlanta one time. I had never even been to Georgia, and I think like we knew immediately. We were like, I think we made a mistake. We should have visited.
Oh man.
But we signed a year lease.
Yeah.
So we're here for a year. Isn't like Marvel Studios out there? Like that's
man. Pinewood Studios, I think.
Pinewood, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's still the place for film. LA. Well, earlier this year, you guys thought it was going to be the place for comedy. Who knew what was going to happen? And now we're like the place for nothing. Now I call LA. I have two names for it. Now I call it Pod People. We're Pod People, which I call it that because of all the pods I see on the street because people are moving, and I also call it we used to be the entertainment capital and now we're the tent capital because it's either homeless or it's a restaurant that is now in a tent.
Or testing.
Yeah.
Even a little testing site.
Oh yeah, like a COVID testing site. Everything's done in it. We're just like we're the tent capital.
You know, it was big when we first moved back. We were surprised the Winnebago was really popping up.
Was it?
The campers.
Yeah, the campers and stuff.
I think that's just people who couldn't afford rent anymore. To be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, it is. But it was like
RVs now.
Yeah, it was like the middle class version of homeless. Like. There's like the tents, and then there was like people who were like, we're doing okay. Yeah.
I know several comics that rented or bought little RVs to live in just to keep costs down.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
I kind of feel when you're moving and when you're deciding what city to go to, sometimes I think of it and I look at it like stock market. Like. You guys jumped and moved to Atlanta thinking like, well, we want to be actors and there's tons of auditions out there. And that's true, but that's almost just like buying Apple stock. It's like, if it pays off, it's going to pay off huge, but it's also bigger risk, bigger the reward. And then LA right now, I feel like everyone's moving because it's the stock dropped. And so everyone's like, and I kind of feel like I'm hanging on to the stock as they say, buy cheap, sell high, right? So right now, LA is like the stock has dropped, and I kind of feel like for a little while I'm going to hang on to it and see what happens. I don't know.
Totally.
What do you guys think? You guys think you're going to, like, you're here and you're in LA, regardless of what happens, you just like it here?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we just love California. We love Southern California. It feels like home, So, yeah, we're kind of like you are. We're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
Unless that's not what you're saying, then never mind.
No. To tell you the truth, my wife wants to move. You guys know Jenny. She wants to move to another state. She has never liked California. And
oh, really?
Yeah, she wants to go. She wants to go to Oregon, which I don't know if right now is the time to go, but it really is beautiful, and we do love it up there. We go. We have family, and we go like twice a year. She also would like to go to Seattle. And I would absolutely love to live in Boston, but it's actually kind of expensive. But I'm just hanging on to this stock right now. I have very affordable rent in a great neighborhood, which I'm very fortunate to have. And while I have it, I'm going to hang on to it. And if I did move to another state, to be honest with you, I don't think I would let this place go. I think that I would move her there, and I would just go back and forth.
Have you talked to her about this yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're like, I would ship you.
Yeah.
And then I would visit. No.
I mean, I would primarily live with her, but you never. If things popped off here again,
Totally.
you know, I have a place, and you never know if things.
And to keep that cheaper rent too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys, I'm in Sherman Oaks, and I pay a G a month.
Dang. Yeah,
That's crazy.
You gotta keep that.
Podcast studio included.
That's stock in itself. Like, I my brother's like that. He's in a rent controlled place, and he won't move.
He's like, I am budgeting.
Yeah. Well, with what you're saying though, with the stock, I think it's interesting. And having moved away, we're in a way we were chasing the stock, and like Atlanta was starting to pick up, and it was like we got to go now. We got to get on it while it's not oversaturated, because even while we were there, more people were flooding in. But there's also something about like sticking it out in LA, and like when the dips happen, and like it's something about being a part of that city when things aren't going perfect.
So you think it kind of says something about your character also?
Yeah.
Not to shit on people that moved. You got to earn a living.
Right.
I understand. No, no, I mean during the pandemic, the people that just fled.
Totally.
Yes.
I get them. And then also, everyone I know that did it has kind of already made it or extremely established where they actually do make a great living on the road. So we're staying, and I think that the three of us are young, and we still have a lot of work ahead of us. And we're staying, and we're gonna tough it out. We're gonna we're gonna see what happens, and it's just gonna be the three of us. But I mean, we're gonna stay.
More spots.
Make it, damn it.
We're gonna go down to the comedy store. They're gonna light our cigarettes for us. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like
They're gonna let us on stage finally.
Yeah. The three of us will get to do like 90 each.
All right, wow. It might be a 45 that's a little slow.
We'll be on potluck. It'll be crazy.
Well, I'll bookend it.
Ryan, you're originally from Virginia, right? Or what?
So I grew up in Virginia. I was born in Simi Valley, but
really?
But I only lived there till I was like 6.5. But I've always had to pull back to here.
Huh. Ashley, where are you from?
Indiana.
Okay, I never knew that.
I don't tell people. I'm just kidding.
Jim Gaffigan's from Indiana. You're in good company.
I know that, yeah. He has a joke where he says, like our motto in Indiana is, we're moving.
Yeah, I remember that joke. And he says, like, I verbatim, I don't remember, but there's something really funny about when he's talking about being from Indiana. And he's like, I drove through there once. And they're like, we remember you. Or something like that.
Isn't Letterman from there too?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Like 10 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
Or lived. I don't live there.
Yeah. So, speaking of Simi Valley, really quick, let's get sidetracked for a second because I was there like 2 nights ago, and
popping, huh?
Yeah, dude. I probably shouldn't say this on a podcast because they say don't say your ideas out loud. But I'm a firm believer of saying your ideas out loud because it holds credibility to follow through. You know what I mean? Because people are gonna go, "Hey, whatever happened with that?" Then you feel like an idiot when you're like, "Nothing." So, so I'll tell you, without giving too much detail, that I'm working on a new show right now that I would like to pitch to like history or discovery or travel. Okay, and basically we're going around because believe it or not, and the sad truth is that there's a lot of famous murders in Hollywood. So we're basically going around and finding the famous locations of where the murder happened or where the story happened and stuff like that. So anyway, the pilot, which we've already started to film, is on the Manson family and the Sharon Tate murder. And so I don't know if you're familiar with Spawn Ranch.
No.
Okay, so Spawn Ranch is technically Chatsworth, but it's right where Chatsworth and like Simi Valley kind of meet in the back roads of the hill, okay? And Spawn Ranch is where they used to film Westerns. Like it was like this ranch. Bonanza was filmed there.
Okay, I think I've been to it. I didn't know the name of it. I know which one you're talking about.
So that's what it. Okay, so that's Spawn Ranch, and then what happened was after they made movies there, it eventually became like worn down and not functional, and the Manson family moved in there, and the guy who owned his name is George Spahn. He actually lit the Manson family live in there in exchange for the Manson family was mostly women. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them had to do sexual favors to the guy, and he just do chores around the ranch, and they got to live there. So it's a very, very creepy place, and it has been torn down except for like this one rock, which is obviously a part of the land that they can't tear it down. And the rock is really famous from the Manson family, like hanging out under it. It's almost like a little mini cave, and like it's a famous photo of them all under it. Okay, so what we did was we set out to find this rock. So by the way, I should mention that our TV show always has to take place at night. So we're going around at night hunting for shit. Okay,
nice.
So we're trying to find this rock, which is basically now all city forest. It's like nothing there but trees, wilderness, and it's acres and acres. Like imagine doing Runyon or Fryman, but you don't stay on the trail. You actually go out but at night.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. And, and there's just little, like a couple of lights and cameras following us around and stuff like that. And we actually found it. We found the rock, which was like the eeriest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I took a picture of it. And guys, in the picture, there's a shadow of 3 people, and there is only 2 of us.
What?
I swear to God, there's like 3 heads. I'll have to send it to you. It's crazy.
You have to. I love that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
That's creepy.
I'm so glad I did it. But walking into the woods, I immediately was like, I don't want to do this. And and even right now, I don't think I would ever go back. It was extremely creepy.
Woo! That's super
terrifying.
Creepy. I'm like, I want to go.
Yeah.
I know.
Next time.
And we went to the house where Sharon Tate was murdered, and that private road. That's a long uphill private road. And those kids, guys, we're talking about 21-year-olds, parked their car at the bottom of the hill and then walked uphill on foot to go kill someone. And like, how halfway through up the hill are you not going, maybe we shouldn't? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's just
a long time to think.
It's phenomenal to me, and I think that there's a lot of like history here that would be a good show.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that got sidetracked, but sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's great.
No, that's super interesting. I love that. I really want to go next time.
Stuff like that really is really interesting to me.
Not to be on the show, but just I want to experience.
Check it out, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to place the rock place because there used to be a rock park. I feel like it's all in the same area that we used to go to as a kid.
You went there as a kid?
Yeah, like we did. There was a rock park.
I'm just imagining you hanging out with like these murderers.
Yeah, we had no idea.
I think he's too young to be there when they were there.
I'm just wondering if it's the same place, but I don't know. Was it like a park also, or like a rock park?
No, it was a private ranch that actually had like a really long driveway into it, which we found the driveway, but it's no longer a driveway. It's like now, like when you're on a road where there's a cliff. And there's like a barrier so you don't go over. Like the whole thing is that now. We had to jump over the barrier and walk down into the woods. It was, you guys, it was pretty intense. I mean, there's definitely, we found a bone. Like probably an animal, but like this long, like licked clean. Dude,
oh my God.
There's definitely coyotes and shit in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, how crazy.
Very exciting.
You guys are like ghost hunters of murder.
I know.
That's awesome. What if you, that's a funny specific. Like if you were a ghost hunting show, but you were only trying to find ghost murderers. Like the ghost of like Marilyn Manson, or not Marilyn Manson, but.
Like still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. The other Manson.
Charlie Manson.
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a fun specific.
We actually find ghosts, and we're like, "Who did you kill?" They're like, "Nobody." Or like, "Eh."
Oh, get out of here, then. Get out of here.
Uninteresting. Yeah, next.
Ryan, you look good. You look all buff and shit. Look at him, huh? Look at this guy.
I did dips today, man. I did a dip or two.
That's all he does.
Yeah, he's be dipping. So
he's been dipping.
What city did you guys move back to?
We're like right across. I'm not gonna tell people where we live. What am I doing?
Okay, never mind. That's why I said city.
No.
Studio City.
I'm like, our address is.
So we're probably neighbors.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Yeah, we're
not
right
far.
down the 101.
And you guys have been here for like 9-10 months already. and I have not ran into you. That's
We
how.
haven't seen a lot of people.
I mean,
though.
we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
That's how strict the lockdowns here. We're probably neighbors, and I didn't even know you guys had moved back.
Yeah. What kind of workout stuff are you doing? You mentioned working out.
I have this right now. I'm using this app in my phone, and it's only like $20 a month, and I really like it. I hate working out. Like, it's never been my thing. You guys knew me when I was a big dude. I was like pushing 250 pounds when you first met me, but I lost all the weight just by like diet and walking and more like fun sports.
I remember when you were on the tequila diet.
Dude, that's how I lost all the weight.
He would like, you wouldn't eat, and then you're like, I'm just gonna take a shot when
That's
I'm hungry.
true.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys know Charlie Sawyer?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He has a video still. I wonder if he still has it in his phone of me taking a tequila shot out of a beer pint glass filled with tequila and with one gulp. It was during that time where I was just not eating and just drinking. What I would do was, and by the way, this wasn't a plan. This was just me going through divorce and like super confused with my life. And I would have breakfast, like a really big breakfast, and I would eat half of it. And then I would eat the other half later. And then besides that, I was just having tequila. When I got hungry, I would go, just give me a shot of tequila. And then I wasn't hungry anymore.
Oh my gosh. What's the app you're using?
It's called the Tequila Weight Loss app.
I think if you said it, they'd have to pay you. That's no.
I don't know the name of it. Everybody asks me that. I don't know the name of it because it's just like some symbol. I'll have to look in my phone and see what it is. But it was the first app I ever downloaded for that, and I like it a lot. So I've kept doing it. I've been doing it for several months. I've kept the weight off, and I was gonna join a gym right before lockdowns, and I did this instead.
Nice.
And
Good choice, apparently.
right behind this curtain here, I have like all my gym equipment. This is my garage, so I have like, bench press stuff, weights, and kettlebells, and all that stuff over here. Yeah.
Nice. She's been doing boxing.
Really?
Like, at home. She's just been like punching air, but
Box
it's
in the air.
awesome.
Do you take? You watch a video or?
Yeah, I did like a whole little, 8 weeks or something, like step by step learning how to shadow box. And I'm going to redo it with actual weights. I'm going to go buff.
Mm-hmm. You love it. They ended up in Philadelphia, right? They were doing their last episode of the series on the steps with the Rocky statue.
Oh, cool! I was just there.
Yeah. Were you really?
Cool.
I was just in Philly. Yeah.
Did you see them?
I just saw you did a show there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you see people boxing? It might have been the same.
I did. I swear to God, I did. Well, maybe that happens all the time though, because it's the Rocky steps.
People just box there. Probably.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
I'm sure they train there.
That's probably
Like on the steps, like on the flat part, there was like a dude training another dude.
That's where my video was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Helium Comedy Club for the weekend. That was a lot of fun. The club is
Nice.
cool. Have you guys ever done it?
No,
Nope.
that's one city I haven't. I've
to.
never been to Philadelphia, but I've always wanted to go.
It was my first time. It was cool. The audiences were great. I got to go with Sam Tripoli, his audience is like super into conspiracies and stuff. So they pretty much welcome anything you want to talk about, which is they're super supportive. It was great.
Unless
Very
you
cool.
say, unless you disagree with the conspiracy, and then they're like, no. You can say anything crazy, but if you're like 9/11 was
Was
you
a
know, like,
legit thing, I don't know.
yeah, they're like, boo.
Yeah, 9/11 really happened by
It was an outside
Bin Laden.
job. Yeah.
They're like, get this clown out of here.
Yeah. There's no way it was an outside job.
Guys, the vaccine's gonna work, bro.
This is real. Boom!
Yeah. No, they're great. That audience is a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
I love it.
I remember a time when the two of you were not having meat.
Oh yeah,
You are having meat again, right?
Oh yeah.
we've been going in
I
and out of that
misheard
for
that,
a
and I
while.
was like, "What?"
I remember you guys stopped eating meat for a little while.
Yeah, we go vegan off and on.
So you just
did.
We're not very good vegans.
someone just told me what that's called. That's called a flexicarian.
I thought you were gonna say hypocrite.
No, a flexicarian means like you don't eat meat, but every now and then you. And then
Okay, we're flexicarians.
Yeah.
you're
flex-
flexitarians.
Flexitarian,
saying
yeah.
that.
It's mostly for people who have like a lack of like vitamin B and protein, and they have to kind of go back and forth.
That's why we
happened to
stopped.
him,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was low on vitamin D.
He had to get like a
And-
prescription of vitamin D, which is crazy.
Yeah. But I'll never forget like the night we decided to like the first time we went vegan for like 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then we decided one night that we were gonna stop, and it was like right the day after Thanksgiving, and we went ham on some ham.
Really?
We had a bag full of leftover ham that she had cooked for her dad and mom who were visiting, and so we were just like,
Should we eat this?
let's eat this fucking ham
right now.
We
We're
went,
not gonna throw it away.
yeah.
So you guys
We
just
went-
made like an out loud decision and said, "Do you want to just maybe eat meat now?" Then
We just eat this dead pig.
Yeah, and we did.
But then the second time we went vegan, it was the day after Thanksgiving again. And I don't know what sparked that decision, but isn't that weird?
yeah, it is.
That's our Thanksgiving tradition now.
We go back and forth.
Is we-
every
we-
Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
we flexitarian or something.
What happened when you went back? Was your stomach kind of messed up at first?
No, it's
No.
a total myth.
Really?
So now when anybody says that, I judge them. I'm like, you're lying.
Really? And then what about that first bite of that ham? Were you guys like, "Oh my god"?
Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Ryan's still dreaming about
Oh
it.
my god, it was awesome. It was the best way. It was the best way to drop being vegan.
The best way to
But-
do anything is to not do it for a really long time and then do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine when I start drinking again. I'm just kidding.
Wait, do you not drink?
I don't.
You haven't always not drank.
No. I definitely used to drink
Oh,
quite a
okay.
bit.
When I
Been
knew
like
you,
2
right?
years now.
Been
Yeah.
almost 2 years.
So you've been sober 3 years.
2 years.
Why'd you
Almost.
stop? Just because it was getting to
I
be too
started
much?
getting, like really bad migraines, like even after like this much beer or wine. So I just decided to quit drinking. So.
Wow. I've been a pescatarian for about almost 2 years now.
I thought you were a Catholic.
I
That's
am.
stupid. That was so stupid. That was a dumb
Oh, did you
joke.
think I said
No, it's just stupid.
what's
It
that
was
religion?
Presbyterian?
Pescatarian. I am Catholic. No, so I can eat fish and I can have dairy and eggs, so I have plenty of protein and I'm getting what I need, and I just don't eat meat. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
just don't eat like any chicken or any red meat.
Dude, do this. Do yourself a favor. Take some of that fish of yours,
Yeah.
put some coconut on it.
Who are you right now?
It's delicious.
I don't even know what character that was.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Just
I
like
don't know.
You got so serious though. But continue.
I just
Puerto
thought-
Rican / Jewish. You gotta put coconut in your fit. What were you?
Dude, it was the shit though. We started doing it. We playing around with some fish. Throw some coconut on there. Throw some
Well,
spice.
I cook with coconut oil. Is that what you mean?
That'll work.
No, like actual
That'll do.
shredded coconut though.
On the fish, really? Okay.
So
Oh,
good.
man.
Have you guys
Hey,
been?
then you could toast it. Toasted coconut.
Oh, that sounds good. You know
I'm
what I
getting
do?
Very
I'm-
excited
I'm
about
getting-
the one
I'm
thing that we eat.
I'm salivating right now.
I take pistachios, obviously out of the shell, and I dice them up real fine, like powder,
Mm.
and then I put them on my my fish, my salmon, actually.
Oh, we're gonna have to try that.
Do you throw the shells on the ground like a Texas Roadhouse?
No, no, it's a lot of work if you buy them in shells, which I have done. So if you can get them without the shells, it saves you some time. But and that's not all I put. I put like salt, pepper, paprika, and stuff like that, which is my usual like salmon rub, and then dice it nice and fine where it's almost a powder, but there's still some like little crusties in there. You
I'm gonna
know,
put it in my food processor and just
It's
let
good.
it go.
you
Yeah.
guys like cooking a lot. Have you guys been cooking a lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tons.
That's all we do now.
So have you kind of started like a baking business on the side?
Yeah, a little small home bakery.
Yeah,
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
a home bake.
A home bake.
A home bakery.
Welcome to the Home Baked Podcast. This
Yeah.
have
I
you?
told her, I was like, she usually does it first thing in the morning, so it's a wake and bake.
Yeah, I wake and bake every day.
Yeah.
Do you
but
just
not-
like? Why'd you do it? Do you like love baking? Are you super good at it?
Yeah, kind of both. I was just doing it for fun, and then people kept wanting to buy it from me, and I'm like, oh, I don't sell them. Maybe I should though.
Huh?
So then I just randomly decided to start selling my cupcakes.
Is it baking or is it just like cooking also, just baking right now?
It's just baking. Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's pretty busy this month, which I figured it might be with the
The
holidays.
holidays, yeah.
Yeah. I expect it to drop off quite a bit in January.
Right.
People are watching their waist again. But...
Yeah, but that's where you hit the market with the fat-free version.
Ooh, the vegan, the gluten-free.
Yeah.
These are health foods.
You play into those resolutions.
Yeah.
Jen bakes a lot, and she finds like super healthy ways to do it. Like she bakes a lot with like protein powders that are meant for shakes instead of using like flour and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
smart.
yeah. That's definitely. Is it the Crusties or something? They usually have a lot of that.
I have no
protein
idea
stuff.
what she uses. Something healthy, and she makes pancakes with it.
Go get her. Bring her on.
Bring her in here. She makes pancakes, and she makes with that and like bananas. Like
nice.
she's pretty creative with it. We're both
Right?
pretty good cooks. Like I absolutely love cooking, and I really, really want to get a chef on my podcast. I don't know any chefs, but I always think about it. Like if I wasn't a stand-up comedian, I would love to be a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely love it. It's another thing that I'm passionate about.
What's your favorite meal to cook? Like what do you have something you do better than others?
I do soups really well. I do a ciappino really well, which is an Italian seafood soup. I do seafood really well because the last 2 years I've had to learn how to make really good seafood. I probably would stink at meat because I haven't done it in so long.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I cook everything really well except for I guess I made the turkey really well, but I don't generally cook meat. So when we have meat, he cooks it. But yeah, I cook everything else.
I do breakfast. I like. I do some bomb breakfast.
Breakfast is one of the most fun things to make.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love making my homemade brunch, and just staying home.
Homemade biscuits.
Yeah.
So good.
Which is what we've all kind of had to do. Like they close restaurants and everything's locked down, and we're all like, well, we're just going to become the best chefs ever then.
Right.
Yeah. Man, we were trying to find like breakfast spots that did like to go early on. I mean, still like it's so hard to find like good
good brunch places to do to go. I'm sure they're trying to do it, but like for me, when I go out to brunch, I like to have like what do they call it, like an over easy egg?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can make scrambled at home.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You want something you can't make at home. That's the whole point of like going out.
So I don't want to. And then some of the dishes are so good with the fried egg on top, of like hash and stuff. That's like the best. And like, I don't want to get that to go. I want to get a fried egg to go.
Yeah, it's like cold by the time you get it home.
Yeah, it's all already broke the yolk and everything.
yeah. You just be so careful, like on the way back.
What would you guys do if you weren't stand-up comics or actors, obviously? What would you think would be like another thing you'd be really passionate about? What would you want to do?
I would let you start.
Mine would be baking.
It would be baking.
Yeah, like I started baking last year because I wanted to get out of working as a server in restaurants and I wanted to go work in a bakery. Like I was planning to go try to work at a bakery, and then COVID happened, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I'll just open a bakery then." So yeah, I'm definitely really passionate about baking though. It's just really fun and relaxing for me.
It is.
I think here's something I've always thought would be a cool job. I thought it would always be cool to run like a jet ski rental place or one of those parasailing boats.
Yeah.
Like just off the beach. I think that'd be super cool.
What about like kayaks and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck it. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, that's super cool. No, I love kayaking.
Dude, I go kayaking quite a bit. That I actually bought 2 kayaks because it was at this point I was like, I'm renting too much,
Yeah.
I love going to places. I would go to Oxnard a lot, and there's so many different spots where like what you're describing of just like people that's their business. How cool to just sit there on the water all day and rent stuff to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be like the best.
Both my parents have kayaks though.
Yeah.
Like we'll go when I'm up there. I went with my mom last time I was up visiting her, and we went down current like all the way one way, and then we had to turn around and go back, and it got super windy, so we were just like fighting the current the entire way back.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
I've had to do that a couple of times. Yeah, on windy days. But I really enjoyed it. Those are like the the only exercises I like doing is like kayaking, biking, you know,
Like something that's fun too. That's why
yeah,
I did
tennis,
yeah.
anything on like a Medicare brochure. I'm your, you know, chess.
That's just blowing up right now.
I know. Have you been watching this Queen's Giblets or whatever?
I haven't started that show. No.
You're gonna get
That's
into
not
some
the name of
chess,
it.
man.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
It's really good.
Queen's Gambit is the real name.
You know who's really into chess is Darren Carter, and I haven't been on the road with him in a really long time. It's been years, but when I would go on the road with him, he would always try to teach me, and he could never teach me. I could never figure out how to play. Like,
You're just like pawn.
I don't know. Yeah, it might have
I
been.
don't know how to play either.
It might be because it's Darren Carter trying to teach me. And then after a while, he was just like, "Download this app. That'll teach you, and then let me know when you learned it."
You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I imagine all his moves come with sound effects. Just
Yeah.
Like, pawn to Q6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really quick, let's take a break for a second. This is a good time to remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by Masterclass. Masterclass is honestly our oldest and most proud sponsor. I love Masterclass. I've started to use it for the acting class myself, and I'm having a lot of fun. But they have everything on there. They have acting, stand-up comedy, cooking classes. I mean, if you can think of it, they got it. If you were thinking about playing guitar, listen, we're all locked in the house right now, so you got some free time. Don't come out of this quarantine going, I didn't learn nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you had the time, so do something. Learn to play a song, whatever. There's history classes. There's something in the back of your mind you've always wanted to try or dabble in, and I love Masterclass because it lets you do that. A lot of people have jobs or kids and they can't go take a class or they can't afford it, and you can do this in your home on your schedule, and it's not going to break the bank. Okay, you guys, so right now click the link in the description and I'm going to get you normally it is $90 per course, but for $180 you have access to the entire website. So that means you can literally take every course you want. You can take acting and comedy and mix it up, and during the holidays right now, again, if you use the link in the description, if you buy a year, you gift a year. So for $180, you get yourself a year access to the entire website, and then you can also gift one for free to a friend of yours for the holidays. So use the link in the description, you guys. So, and back to the show, really quickly. Another thing that I'm passionate about. This is a pact I've made with myself, you guys. You guys act a lot. You guys are actors. I've only ever really been a stand-up. Okay. And that's all I ever wanted to do. I'm very passionate about stand-up comedy, obviously. But I'm passionate about acting and movies. And I was first introduced to comedy by comedy movies and comedic actors. And then, obviously, I'm such a big movie fan. Even dramatic roles are my favorite. And I'm just so, like, I've decided that not for a career, but just for me to prove to myself that I can do what some of the guys and women that I look up to do. And I want to become good at acting. And I don't plan to, like, really do anything with it career-wise. It's just... And by the way, I have an idea for a Patreon, and I'm so scared to start it because I know once I start it, I'm going to have to stick with it. And I feel like it's going to be very time-consuming. As I want to do a Patreon podcast of like a table read.
I love that
cool
idea.
So,
That's really cool.
just, table reads, in every episode we're reading the script of we'll do Seinfeld, we'll do Everybody Loves Raymond, we'll do The Office, and then every week I'll just have a bunch of different of my friends. I mean, even you guys, if I start it, you guys can come in and play a character one day.
Love that.
That's a super cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think it would be, a lot of fun. And I've been trying to think of an idea for Patreon because I never wanted to charge for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it away for free for so long. I don't want to start charging people for it. So I was thinking for ideas for a Patreon. And I think that's going to be a lot of great practice, for reading scripts, writing scripts, and acting.
Mm-hmm.
I
think people would want to watch that too if you have it as like a Zoom call.
Absolutely, yeah,
people reenact this. I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
The only thing
Do it
I'm,
like once a month. Make it, yeah.
I'm worried that I won't be able to find the scripts for all the episodes because I've already kind of
I
tried.
can help you.
Yeah,
You think so?
We've looked through hundreds of scripts because in acting class, like we have to find our own scenes. So
Is there
like,
a
lot of times
website
we just, like,
that has like every?
there's a
I need
few
to know the name of that website. That's what I need.
I'll send you some that have like, you know, every pilot from every year for the last like 20 years or something.
Wow.
And then there's like the comedy section and then the drama section.
How
What
crazy!
if we just lied to him and told him there wasn't a website, but it was all in the library, and you had to know the Dewey Decimal System? Yeah.
I feel like those are the websites I've already looked at, and I'm like, this is not going good.
Yeah.
Like
There are some of those websites feel ancient.
Imagine like a few of our comedy buddies, or like
It would be super fun.
I would love to be part of that. That sounds
imagine
like
us
so
doing
much
like
fun.
Cheers,
Totally.
or like All in the Family. It would be,
Yep.
and then like in the holidays we'll do like the Christmas episodes. It's gonna be.
Yeah, I love that.
I think again, I'm just giving all my ideas away for free on the podcast, but hey, that's how I hold myself accountable to go do stuff.
We'll
Yeah.
hold you accountable too.
I like that one though.
Like, are you setting that up yet?
I should, right?
You definitely should. Yeah, I
If-
think people would totally pay for that. I mean, people are paying to see like Zoom plays right now and Zoom improv shows. You know what I mean? I think they would love a table read.
I think so. And then I know that, during quarantine, a lot of like famous actors were doing table reads. Like they did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and they got like Sean Penn and everybody. And I thought that was pretty cool. And but I want just like, stand-up comics, to read these roles, whoever I think would be well suited to read for that character or whatever.
And a couple people who maybe aren't well suited. And
Yeah.
it's just gonna be,
That
like,
would be fun
hilarious.
too.
Yeah, I would love to see the people who don't fit that role
Yeah.
try to do something. I think
Make
that'd be
it-
hilarious.
Recreate that role.
Like
Yeah.
I'll be Diane from Cheers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And Ryan will be Carla.
I'll be Frasier.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love Frasier's character in that show. I don't like the show Frasier.
I love Niles on Frasier. I wish it
Yeah.
were the Niles show. I think his
Right.
character is so good.
Niles and the dog. The dog's good.
But Niles
Niles
just
is
like
awesome.
steals every scene that he's in.
Did you
I wonder
guys?
if they ever, like, the creators would ever look back and like, oh shoot, we should have made it the Niles show.
Yeah. I wonder if they ever try to do a spin-off.
He just
Well, Frasier was a spin-off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a spin-off of a spin-off.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie he did? Frasier. He was in like a military movie. I've never seen it,
I got-
but I
no.
just
It kind of sounds
IMDb.
familiar.
I did like IMDb, and I was like, how is he in this?
There's another movie coming out, I think.
Really? Yeah, I
Or
gotta
show?
I gotta see it in a different role.
What I'm hooked on right now, you guys, is Peaky Blinders.
Huh?
Ah,
Have you guys
I
seen
keep
it?
seeing it pop up, and I have not. I mean, I've watched a few of the first season years ago when it first came out.
Which one is that? That's not the. I
It's
think I'm confusing it with a different one.
It's
not the
with
one
what's the actor's? I never remember his name. It's something Gillian. He's the Scarecrow from Batman,
Yeah,
and
not- it starts with a C. Gosh, what's his-
it's kind of sounds
like
like a woman's name, but the last name is Gillian, I think, or Cillian, or something like that. Anyway,
I don't know.
Cecil? No.
in
I don't know.
season 2, Tom Hardy comes in, and he's in it for like 3 more seasons. It's so good.
I think I'm thinking of a different show. I'm thinking of the one where he like lies about who he is, his identity.
No, that's not it.
Oh, you're thinking of Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete. I always confuse those two.
Peaky
Sneaky
Blinders,
Pete's a
bro.
great show.
It's a good show, and like I think halfway through the first episode, I was like, "This is kind of not for me. This is boring." And then I put the subtitles on, and I was like, "Oh," because their accents are so thick. I was missing a lot of it.
Oh my
That's
god,
so funny.
that's really funny.
And now-
Oh my god,
Yeah, when you put the subtitles on, it's so good.
it changes everything.
Yeah,
It's an English show, right? Sneaky Blinders.
Sneaky Blinders. No, it's Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Is it English? I think it started in
I
the
think
UK.
He's like kind of Scottish or Irish.
I believe they're in Ireland, and it's like the Irish, but they technically play gypsies, but there's like the Irish gang versus the Italian gang and the Jewish gang at the time, And
interesting.
yeah, that's who Tom Hardy plays. He's the leader of the Jewish mafia.
Oh, wow.
I want to watch it now, but
It's
I probably have to
fantastic.
use subtitles because I think I did the same thing. Like I watched an episode, but it is hard to understand, and so I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know.
It's so
I don't know if
good.
I'm into this or not.
And Jen hates violent stuff, and even she's like, put on the next episode. Let's see what happens.
I want to watch his face get beat in.
Yeah.
So before we go, I want to ask you guys about something else, okay? And I think this is an interesting thing to talk about because I remember everybody saying to me, I started comedy really young. I was 20. And you guys started young too, I think. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think we're all about the same age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started comedy really young, and I obviously got married really young the first time. And I remember everybody telling me not to get married. And then somebody said to me that comedians should never get married, okay? And then I did it twice. Okay. But I also remember people constantly saying, like, if you're a stand-up comedian, you shouldn't be in a relationship, a serious one. It's very hard to be in a relationship. And then you hear all the time that people in the same industry definitely shouldn't date. Now you see where I'm going. You guys have had a successful relationship for I don't know how many years now. I mean, enough to go vegan and back. And
Almost 7.
Yeah.
7
So-
years. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And I'm obviously you're not going to put on social media when you have little arguments and you know what I mean, stuff you don't agree with.
We
And
put them in
What if
sketches.
we did? Yeah,
We
we put
basically
That would be
put them in
funny.
sketches.
people always put the good things about their life, like we're so in love. No one's gonna put, like, obviously you have moments where you disagree on things, or you're like, oh, that annoyed me about him or whatever. You know, obviously you don't post those, but like overall, you can see you guys online. You've been together this whole time. You get along great. You have a strong relationship, and you make it work with being in the same industry. I could never do what you do. I would never date or marry anybody that's a comic. But you guys have beat the odds, and I've always felt that I beat the odds on my second marriage by them saying you should never get married if you're a comic, or you should never have a serious relationship. I always thought that I beat the odds because I did make it work, and I am making it work currently. And it takes like real dedication of it's a job. It's another job, and you have to just make time for stand-up, make time for podcasts, and then there's certain days that you have to go, this is our time, and nothing's going to interfere with it. Unless it's paying really, really well, and then you just move days around, you know?
Yeah.
But what's your guys' secret? I would like to hear from both of you, because I'm sure maybe you have different things to say, of how the between entertainers, what's the secret of this relationship?
I think you touched on it a little bit. It's like there are times where you get so busy with, you know, writing sketches, doing your own thing, podcasts, being so busy in the entertainment industry that we both realize when it's like, it's been a minute since we've focused on on each other and the relationship, and we need to like make that a priority for the next, you know, week or so. And we both know when it's been a while since we've been like acting romantically with each other. And, you know, you're not just best friends, and it's like, oh, we need to like really focus on the relationship and have a date night, and, you know, not be on our phones or doing anything work related, and just making that a priority. I think that's really important. Is like, and in any relationship, I think when you get really busy, I think you need to bring it back home, you know, and just make each other a priority.
At any time, do you feel competitive?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you get a little bummed if one of you gets a spot and the other one didn't?
It's definitely come up when, like, you know, one of us auditioning more than the other.
Ryan's just nodding with everything. Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like,
totally.
you're so happy for them, but then you're like, shit, like, I'm not getting anything. Like, that sucks, but I'm happy for you. And you try to, like, you pat yourself. You're like, I'm being an asshole right now. I'm so happy for you. Sorry for being an asshole. Like, it's just, I think a lot of it is being self-aware of how you're being and treating the other person.
I'm using stand-up right now because acting, I mean, you guys aren't going to go for the same roles. So I mean, you guys help each other write. I mean, you can use it in your benefit, right?
Totally. Yeah, that's one thing that's really great with being in the same industry is we can be honest with each other of like, you know, because your friends and family and the audience aren't going to tell you if something didn't work. but we
Yeah.
will tell each other like this really doesn't work, and I know you don't want to hear that, but I think we're both really good about being hard critics on each other.
I'll run premises by Jen before I ever try them on stage. And then sometimes she'll actually tell me, like, I don't think that's funny or that's not going to work. And then that actually makes me more motivated to make it work. And then I'll actually go, like, told you it would work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you've definitely been through the same thing with me.
Yeah.
Like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
But she's not a comic. You know what I mean? You guys, but I still, I mean, I trust her judgment. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just, I just think that both of you deserve a whole bunch of credit because I think it takes a big person, because there's so much ego in this business that it really does take a big person to slow your roll and be like, that's not cool, I'm not really upset, or, you know what I mean, and listen to each other's advice and help each other, and no offense to Ashley, but I think I'm gonna give an extra pat on the shoulder of Ryan, only because I know I know women, I don't know firsthand, obviously, but I know what women have to deal with in the stand-up comedy world, and it's not fair, and it's not fun for them. And I know that if my girlfriend or wife or fiance or whatever was doing stand-up, and I would see guys hitting on them, or I would see guys checking them out, or I would see, them flirting and trying to using or abusing their power, or even if it's not sexual, women have to deal with the boys. It's stand-up comedy, let's face it, it's a boys club, and women have to deal with, in the green room, guys talking about profanities and
locker room talk.
I wouldn't spitting in stuff. You know what I mean? Just, and women are just so a lot of female comics, they go, whatever, I have brothers, I don't give a shit. But it's not even that the woman can't handle it. It's that me as the man couldn't handle it happening to my chick. And that's where I think that Ryan is like really, bigger than that, where he's super confident, I guess.
I mean, it's tough. I've experienced that a lot, like being like outside of shows and stuff. And I've joked before, I was like, I've had a guy sit there and have somebody's text message go through me to her while I'm standing there. I'm like, they're texting her. I'm right here. Like, there's been a lot of instances where
he's had people he's been friends with that he's like, well, I'm not friends with this guy anymore because he hit on you knowing we're together, and they were friends before I was ever in the picture.
Yeah,
it's pretty rare that two stand-up comics are together. So if they didn't know, I would understand. But when they know you're together, that's messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah.
You definitely, you find out some, the real people behind some of these,
Yeah. So I'll just take this time to apologize to Ashley that I have hit on Ryan many times.
I grabbed my nipple.
And I knew you guys were together.
I couldn't help myself.
You guys are the best. I'm so glad that you're back, and hopefully we can hang out soon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We should all do a little game night, a couple's Zoom game night.
So I tried doing that once, and it didn't go well, but I think it was because of the game we were playing. We can do something fun. Table read.
Chess. Is that a thing? I don't know.
A table read, yeah, we'll do a table read.
What did you say, Ryan?
Can we do 4-way chess? I don't know how this game works.
I don't know. There's stuff that we could do. Are you guys kind of really not going out and seeing anybody? Are you kind of yeah?
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't want to. What about going over to someone's house? You're just like, we're not having it.
We see his brother and stuff. We were seeing my sister, but not anymore because she works at Whole Foods and she's around COVID cases like crazy right now.
Wow.
So I guess the answer is it depends. Depends. What the other people have been doing. We've been careful.
It's mainly that. If somebody's hanging out with a ton of people all the time, we're not seeing that person. But if they're being kind of safe like we are,
I don't know too many people who are hanging out with a ton of people. I mean, because it's hard to find a ton of people to hang out with. I feel like because half of them are kind of scared. I mean, you don't want to hang out with me because I just came back from Philly.
We'll wait a week.
I'm just kidding. I've actually been back. I think that was 3 weeks ago. So
okay,
I'm safe.
Yeah, we could do a little game night.
Just drink some.
Yeah, we should do something. But I am going to Seattle next week though. So then when I come back, I'll have to quarantine again.
Yeah, we'll
And
see
then
you,
we'll
we'll
hang
see you
out.
soon.
And I'll bring some
Yeah.
cupcakes.
Ooh, I gotta order some cupcakes, even if it's just for me. I'm not a big sweets person at all, but I do like a cupcake every now and then. My favorite is red velvet with the cream cheese filling.
I'm going to be making those in February.
Oh, perfect. And then I love eggnog, so I've been eyeballing your cupcakes. If people want to order your cupcakes, does it have to be local?
It does, unfortunately.
Okay.
I do not ship right now.
So the people locally in the mysterious Studio City area, or Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles. Where can people order it?
So you can email me at littlecreationsbakery@gmail.com to order, or you can go to my Instagram page, which is Little Creations Bakery, and you can just direct message me there. And my menu is on my Instagram page.
It looks delicious, and you have a little kit where people can make their own cupcakes that you give them the icing, everything ready to go. So that's probably fun for a lot of families too. And then both of you often film great sketches, and you do it all the time. And those are also both on your Instagram?
Yep, on Instagram and then YouTube at Tiny Cow Comedy.
Tiny Cow Comedy.
Yeah.
All right, says the Flexicarians. Okay.
Named after our dog. She looks like a little tiny cow. She's got
You
cow
guys still have her?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's right here.
she's trying to come up
If you're
right
wondering
now.
Oh,
why
you
it
can
looks
let her up.
like-
She wouldn't be the first dog we've had on here.
I don't know if she'll come up,
She's
but
like,
yeah,
let me up here.
but she's like poking her nose up.
Oh, okay. Well, it's great to see you guys. It was great catching up, and I'm so happy for all of your success in your relationship and in your creativity, and I love it. You guys have always been the best, and it's so good to see you, and I hope that we can meet up soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
we love
Thanks
that.
for having us.
Thank you guys for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. Just reach out if there's something you want to talk about and let me know, okay?
Thanks.
Sounds good.
You bet. Okay, I'll see you guys next. You guys can go ahead and log off. I got to just give the outros.
All right. Later.
Cool. Bye, guys. Happy holidays.
Happy
Thanks
holidays.
for having us.
Of course. All right, you guys. That was Ashley Adaire. I'm sure I'm fucking up the last name. She told me earlier. And again, it's because I've been calling her Ashley Cray, which I thought was her name the entire time. That was her stage name when we met. And Ryan Hansinger, I came up with them at the comedy club I had worked at. We've done many, 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 many open mics and shows together, and I'm so happy for them, and I'm so glad that they moved back. And listen, guys, it's the time to work on your creativity, your relationships in your life, whatever it may be. This is the time to work on it. As I said, don't come out of this with nothing to show for it. We're going back into lockdowns, and you know what? It's horrible. A lot of people are going to lose a lot, but if you can do anything, take advantage of it and come out of this on top. Okay, you guys, come out of this hitting the ground running, and make sure you click the link in the description for Masterclass. It's a great holiday gift, you guys. Give the gift of an education for somebody who has been wanting to do something for a long time. And don't forget to download my album, or please support the show by picking up a t-shirt. And that's it, you guys. I'm here anytime. If you want to talk, go to homeschoolpod.com, click on contact, and you can email me. I read those. I get back to them as soon as I can. And you guys are the best. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Stay safe, and come back here next week and listen to us document the journey as we do here at Homeschool Podcast. And don't forget that only love is going to save the world. I'm Augustino Zoida, and this is Homeschooled Podcast. See you guys next time. Homeschooled Podcast.
Homeschool.
The Homeschool Podcast. Why? Because he was homeschooled.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that at all.